In from the BBC's Business Unit. Thank you for that. 1 in every 5 new bikes bought in the Netherlands during the first half of last year was an electric one. That's according to some analysts called GfK. But the battery-powered bicycle hasn't yet taken off in quite the same way here. And that's despite the fact that we've got lots of hills, which is where these so-called assisted cycles really should come into their own. London is getting several hundred electric bikes, adding them to its hire scheme for later on this year. But why haven't more of us taken up biking using a battery? John Douglas has been to meet Keith Denton. He runs Low Fell Cycle Shop in Gateshead, and he rides an electric bike to work.
This is my bike. It's an ordinary bike, and I've added a Bionics conversion kit to it.
So you've turned it into an electric bike?
I've turned it into an electric bike, yes. It involves a new back wheel from Bionics, a battery and a controller.
And I can see the battery. It's quite a large case that's attached to the frame of the bicycle,
yes,
and a little controller that's attached to the handlebars.
That's correct.
How much did this cost you?
The kits themselves are £1,600 for this particular one, but they start at £1,200 and go up to £1,800. It's quite a bit of money for the kit, but it is one of the best on the market.
Come on then, show us what it's like to ride.
Okay, first thing I've got to do is switch it on. That tells you it's on. You've got to wait a few seconds to show you how it works.
So you've started
until you get to 3 miles an hour, nothing happens, and then once you're at 3 miles an hour, it kicks in. So it's very easy. You have to keep pedalling.
So I've got to run along next to you.
You do.
I can't hear anything.
No, it's silent. This particular one is a silent motor.
So what does it feel like in comparison to a regular bicycle?
It feels exactly the same, only you feel like you're Superman, really.
Will it work if you don't pedal at all yourself?
This particular model, no, it has to be pedalled all the time.
Well,
no, come in.
How about instead of me running along beside you, I get on your bike and have a quick go myself? Would that be okay?
Certainly. Oops, I'll turn it off. It does kick. I mean,
right.
You'll be surprised how fast it is.
So all I have to do is just get on and pedal like a normal bike?
Yeah.
I don't have to twist anything else?
No,
it's all set up to go?
Just go.
Okay.
When you get up to 3 miles an hour, it'll just kick in.
Whoa! I see what you mean.
No, come in.
It's the oddest feeling. It's as if someone's just come up behind you and given you a big push. Well, I've come inside Keith's bike shop, and it's mostly conventional bikes that are on sale, but if we walk to the back, you have got an electric bike on sale, haven't you?
Electric bicycle, yes.
Yeah, and this one's a power bike.
A power bike, this one, yes.
And again, it looks like a regular bike, except there's a controller that's positioned behind the saddle. The battery is attached to the frame, and if you look at the front wheel, it's got a large spindle. That's where the motor is. So how much would this one set me back?
This one, £950.
So still a significant sum of money.
It is, but it's a very good bike with a good electric system on it.
So give me a quick demonstration, if you would, please, Keith, and tell me how this differs to what we've just sampled outside.
This particular one has a key and a throttle. So you turn the key on, it's on a stand, so if I pedal it backward, you can hear that. Half throttle, hold the wheel to full throttle.
And now it's going at full belt and that front wheel is flying round.
Yes.
How many of these do you sell?
Last year, I think we sold around about six units last year. The year before, probably about 5.
I mean, how does that compare with your other sales?
Well, obviously, you're talking about 100 bikes to every one power bike, probably.
Why don't we buy more of them?
The British public aren't switched on to the fact that electrically powered bikes will be able to help them. Most people who say, using an electric bike is cheating, are sitting in a car.
But if it makes cycling almost effortless, doesn't that sort of miss the point? The whole joy of cycling is doing exercise. It is getting there under your own steam.
Not if you're travelling to work, it isn't. If you're travelling to work, you want to get to A to B in the easiest way possible to start your day. You don't want to be absolutely wrecked before you get there. Try one. That's all I can say to people. Try one and you'll love it.
Keith Denton, a cycle seller, speaking to our own John Douglas. Peter Eland is the editor of Electric Bike magazine. He's in York, a very cycle-friendly city. Peter, does anyone know how many electric bikes are sold in the UK, or anyway, the kits that go with them, or the kits that can convert an ordinary bike to an electric one?
Yeah, good afternoon. I thought that was a spot-on report there from your reporter.
I'll pass your congratulations on to John.
But the figures are quite difficult. It's below the level where you get detailed industry statistics. The best guess is around 30,000, and because there's about 2 to 3 million bikes sold, that's under 1%, exactly as the chap in the bike shop said.
Why are they more popular in the Netherlands, do you think?
And it's a whole different kettle of fish in the Netherlands, because over here we have a sort of a cycling culture is very much based about racing, fitness, sport, and as John the reporter was saying there, a feeling it's all about getting some exercise.
Yes.
Over in the Netherlands, it's much more about transport. It's all about, kids almost all cycle to school. There's very few kids get dropped off by car.
But it's a much safer thing also, isn't it, to cycle there?
Oh, very much so, and that's no coincidence. I mean, that's 40 years of consistent investment in that cycling, which then obviously pays back in other ways, in quality of life on the streets, and lower heart attack bills and lower obesity bills and all the rest of it. So it's not a sort of simple, easy difference to fix.
Just while we've been talking, Lynn Tour from Perth has emailed, and she says her very clever husband Ian converted her bike's road mount and folding to electric many years ago when the local steep hills put too much strain on her knees. She says they're wonderful, but don't get lazy. Just save the motor for when you need it on the hills. What do you think it would take to get more of us onto e-bikes?
Well, the big one is clearly sort of separate cycleways to reduce the feeling of risk. But actually, once you're on a bike, that's not such a massive concern, because you can often find a quieter way. But
do you use one?
I do. Yes, I use lots actually, because I keep on getting them in for review. But no, it's I think well, part of it's awareness, and this is a wonderful sort of opportunity to tell people about these things, because they can get people. It just removes one of the obstacles that may stop someone who's enjoyed cycling all their life. They might get a new lease of life by going on an electric bike. It just takes away that obstacle. Or it could be a partner of a cyclist who wants to get out with them but can't keep up normally. Again, it just opens up that opportunity.
Peter,
and sorry, yeah.
I was just going to stop you. Thanks, we're out of time. Thank you for that.
No problem at all. Thank you.